Boom. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Uncommon Man podcast. I'm your host, David. This is Mike, special guest, Mason. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Yeah. So I know everybody, if you're a sports fan like us, you sat back and you watched the national championship game. So we're just going to run through thoughts, recaps, kind of what we thought and what is looking like towards the draft pretty much. So, Mason, go ahead and kick us off, man.
So today started the national championship game for the 2020 season with Alabama and Ohio State. Going into this game, I actually on my YouTube picked Ohio State just because honestly, and also the facts are there because even before the game started, they started showing all the talent on both teams. Ohio State had more 5 stars, and stars don't matter. I mean, look at the LSU team from last year; that'll prove it. But I honestly just feel like Ohio State's team was just. If you look at last year's Ohio State team, a lot of those players came back this year. And every Ohio State fan, every Ohio State player and coaching staff was saying this year would be their year, and they were working for it. Did COVID throw a wrench in that plan? I don't know. Maybe because the way they started so late. I'm not going to hold that accountable because they lost. And then they lost convincingly to Alabama. I had Bama in the national title game. I will say that. But I did not think this Bama team would be as good as they were. I didn't think that Mac Jones would be as good as he was. Honestly, I didn't. I didn't. I was honestly. I thought Bryce Young, the freshman, the 5-star out of Mater Dei, would be the guy that took the starting job, and I was wrong. Apparently, from what I was hearing, the kid Mac Jones was crying one day because he thought with the first teams he did so bad that the Bama coaching staff had to calm him down, telling him, "Hey, it's gonna be okay." And the next day he came out throwing touchdown passes all day in practice. So, just to hear that, I'm really happy for Mac Jones. Congrats to him. Congrats to the whole Bama team, man. I mean, they deserve it. And also congrats to the Ohio State team for y'all to make it. Even though a lot of people, and David, you're one of them, that thought they shouldn't have been in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Shouldn't fucking been
there. Congrats to you for even making it to the Natty and beating Clemson the way you did, because I didn't think y'all beat Clemson the way you did. I thought y'all beat them, but I thought it'd be like an overtime game. But congrats to them for making it. So, yeah, congrats to both fan bases and both teams.
For sure, dude.
Yeah, I had Bama from Jump Street. You know, again, I don't give a rat's ass about Ohio State, Clemson, any of those other teams. Again, the way Bama has been rolling, and again, a team that has played a full stretch of the season, that they were pretty battle tested. I mean, versus whoever you want to say, you know, good or bad. You know, again, they played a full season. Ohio State looked shaky at some points. Yes, when it mattered most, and you know, coming up against, you know, Clemson and stuff like that. Yeah, they won pretty convincingly, but I knew going in tonight was just going to be a beatdown. You know, it went exactly how I thought it was, and just like I told Mason earlier, I'm glad Ohio State got curb stomped because personally, y'all shouldn't have been there in the first place. But again, you got in solely on name recognition alone. They kind of bent the rules for you to get in there. So, hey, that's what you get.
Did, yep, 100% Big Ten did. Yep, I agree with that.
I just had an epiphany on how stupid I am, by the way.
What was that?
You guys remember when we were pre-gaming? I was sitting there talking about Alabama winning the championship last year. Yeah, I'm pretty much an idiot.
Dude,
talking about Mac Jones.
I'm the same way at times. Like, bro, it's like hard to remember who the fuck won it last year and stuff like that. So much shit goes on.
Dude, yeah.
I was just sitting there jogging my memory, going, man, I think Mac Jones just had like a record-breaking season. It's like, oh wait, no, last year. That's right, that LSU team.
Yeah. And we 7 in our top 5 greatest college football teams of all time. How about you?
Yeah, we're gonna get that jumping.
Yeah,
we gonna get that
LSU,
jumping.
I'm gonna say right now, LSU is in my top 2, and I think we know where that is.
Talking about time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Or in the last 20-year span.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
stay tuned for that one, folks.
Yeah. So question. I think this is going to be a big question because I was listening to Pat McAfee's show earlier, and he was saying with a stellar performance tonight, Justin Fields could have leapfrogged Trevor Lawrence for basically number 1 quarterback spot. We had a different take. do you put Mac Jones in the conversation now because of the way he's been playing? And we all can agree he's been getting snubbed this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Whether if you want to say it's because he gets a bump because he plays at Alabama, talent around him, defense, offense, whatever. But I don't think you can ignore the numbers that this guy has been putting up all season.
Right. Well, I mean, even last year, man, when he replaced Tua, if it weren't for the fact that LSU had that prolific run that, I mean, historically may never be matched, even with the pace of the game and how it just keeps evolving. Like, he still was having an absolutely insane year last year with Tua's amalgam of injuries that he's always enduring.
Mm-hmm.
So to go into this year and have just such a decisive run the way he did, I mean, you think about it, Alabama had 2 Heisman runners, 2 of them. Like, that's almost unthinkable. Even with the COVID spread throughout the season, like, there were still other talented players out there. And you had the quarterback and the wide receiver from the same team that were the 2 front runners, and it wasn't even close. I mean, yeah, they threw Lawrence in there, but let's not kid ourselves. I mean, who was he compared to Mac Jones and Devontae Smith this season? He was nobody.
Right, correct.
So, I mean, I know Joe Burrow ended up going first overall last year. Nobody saw that coming. So, I mean, does the same consideration come for Mac Jones, or is Trevor Lawrence the future of whatever franchise he goes to?
Yeah. Well, so question, if you are a GM in a quarterback needy team in the top 5, you have the big 3 at quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. But after watching this game, again, I don't either. But after watching this game and you're a GM in a quarterback needy team in the top 5, what do you do? I mean, I think the numbers kind of, speak for itself.
Yeah, it's a tough one too, because I mean, if you look at like historically, you and I have discussed this, ad nauseum when it comes to Ohio State quarterbacks not making it in the NFL. I mean, same for Bama. On the other side of the sword, same thing can be said for Alabama quarterbacks. I mean, they're pretty much non-existent in the NFL too. So, I mean, the last one to really make it, or I should say the only one that I can think of in the past ever to make it is now back up in Houston somewhere after winning back-to-back national championships.
AJ McCarron?
Yeah, McCarron.
McCarron, yeah. He's a journeyman backup.
Yeah.
That's all he's been.
Which, I mean, when you look at his pedigree coming into the NFL, he's a back-to-back national champion, and they went undefeated for at least one of those seasons. So I think the other one was that hiccup year where A&M, Johnny Manziel won 1 game against him. Nobody could fucking believe it. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, dude, because Mac Jones really seems like he's got it together. He's not just out there being a byproduct of the Alabama system. I mean, his passing is fantastic.
I would say here's kind of my argument. If you look at what he had around him last year, right, when you had Ruggs, Judy, Waddle, and Smith.
Yeah.
Coming into this year, you only got 1 out of the 3. Well, out of the 4.
Waddle's always injured.
Yeah, Waddle was injured pretty much all season. Ruggs, Judy, they're off to the NFL, and you only have 1. Which, I mean, you saw tonight. They they force fed Smith the ball, but I mean, it worked. It worked.
So, he had 12 receptions of 215 yards in the first half alone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And 3 touchdowns.
Did you see their stat going into halftime?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he broke the college football record for the playoffs in 1 half. And if he never got hurt, he got hurt the first series of the second half, or the second series, 1 or 2. Dude, if he never got hurt and hurt his hand or a finger, whatever it was, and got out the game, he would have had more yards and probably another 2 touchdowns.
That sucked. And it was like their first drive going into the second half. So, dude, but it was hilarious. Did you guys catch that knife turning stat that they posted up on the screen going into the half? Said Ohio State offense, 191 yards.
Oh yeah, Smith had more yards.
Bro,
well, here's my thing. So
nice burn there.
Do y'all agree with this that Justin Fields was rattled this whole game?
Yes.
He was rattled.
I mean, playing with rib injuries, dude. Like I've had multiple of those throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what pain the guy was literally in, but at the same time.
Well, my thing is with them is that, and I hate saying it like this, but at the end of the day, you take advantage of it. It's a COVID year. Yeah, it's a COVID year. If your players are that dinged up, they lost 2 starting D linemen.
Right.
And then also Justin Fields, they said he's 95%. If they lied and he was really like 70 or 60%, at that point, push the game back. Your conference supports you on doing that. I'm sorry, It's a COVID year, and this is a natty. This is a national championship. This is a ring. At this point, I don't care what I don't know if y'all saw what Nick Saban's daughter was saying on Twitter, calling him out. Who cares what she's saying? She has nothing to do with this game. You push it back. If you're that dinged up and you think that you're not going to be 100% to face Alabama, push the game back. Because I want to see a good ball game. I don't want you to play it because you're playing for your school's quote-unquote pride. No, because now your pride just got embarrassed 52-24 in national championship. So, no, I don't want to hear that about pride.
I think some of it should have been scheme, right? If you know, hey, my quarterback has dinged up ribs, fuck 95%. I mean, let's be honest, that's horse shit. He was probably way less than that. Maybe 75% is what it was, right?
He was out there in a girdle, basically.
Yeah. So then you should kind of adjust your offense. Like, hey, we'll go 2 tights, or we'll keep a running back in, or something to help chip block and keep people off of him.
Sermon going down the very first play.
Oh yeah, that affected us. I'm pretty sure that affected the game plan a lot. They probably anticipated to run the ball a lot more with Sermon, but I mean, hey, but still, did they adjust?
No, and that was a weird thing. What's up?
Oh, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. I was telling you, go ahead.
Oh, so that was a weird thing that we were discussing beforehand too. Was I don't understand why they deterred from their game plan, dude. I mean, they absolutely scorched Clemson on the back end just from throwing deep and keeping the cornerbacks honest. I mean, I get the fact that Alabama has a superior defensive core, but at the same time, they literally, even with the separated ribs in the first or second half of that game for Fields, he was on there for like 3 plays per drive, and they were putting points on the board because they do like a 5-yard pass, a 10-yard pass, and then he'd just throw a bomb and then walk off the field when they get their 6 points. So they did none of the above when it came to holding Alabama accountable for this one. So like we were joking about, they basically seems like they reached out to Pat Sherman. I was like, hey man, what's your game plan for playing against Alabama?
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely, man.
So let me ask y'all this then. How do y'all feel? So with Najee Harris, the running back at Bama, to me, he showed me a whole different side of him with the receiving. Dude, the first half, he was getting stopped with the rushing, but when they threw the ball to him, like out the backfield, Harris just showed me that he can be receiving back in the NFL. Like he had, let's see here.
When he dug in on the sideline in that first quarter, man, what a beautiful play that was.
So he had 7 receptions for 79 yards, 1 touchdown. Then also rushing, he had 22 carries, 79. Well, the rushing wasn't impressive enough, but 22 carries, 79 yards, and 2 touchdowns. To me, the receiving sticks out because I've never really noticed that about Harris. I mean, maybe if you're an Alabama fan, tell me wrong, but I've never noticed that about Harris. I didn't really notice that he was such a receiving back like he was in that, like I saw in that game.
Right.
Yeah. So mostly he wasn't. There's definitely something that he's worked on and developed and kind of, he made a valid effort to become more of a complete all-around back. I think that's what you saw from him, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm a GM and I'm drafting and I'm looking at a kid like him, I'm looking like, oh, he is a complete running back. right? He can run, he can block, and he can catch. Honestly, I think this game tonight may have bumped him up a few spots in the draft, honestly, because if you're looking to change your run game around and you look at this kid and look at what he done tonight, I mean, he didn't have to run, he didn't have to rush for, 200 something yards for that offense to be successful. But what he was the difference in was, hey, third down, throw him the ball. I mean, he's going to get you. He's going to get you a big chunk of yards there from his receiving. So I think not only that, him and Travis Etienne, I think he set himself as the number one running back because there was a little bit of an argument who was better, and I think that right there kind of set him apart.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, if I'm GM and I got a gun in my head, I'm contemplating trading up in the second round for the guy, to be honest with you, especially if I'm kind of shaky regarding my my running back, which, I mean, knock on wood, is definitely Denver at this point. That's something to consider. So
do you think he'll make it that far?
In the second round? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But if he's available like top 5 in the second round, I'm considering it, especially if I'm in the top 10. So straight up my second round, maybe like a fourth rounder or something too.
Yeah. I'm not hesitating to pull the trigger. If he's anywhere in reach outside of the first round, which I highly doubt that he drops that far. Yeah. But I mean, if he does, I mean that's fucking outstanding. If he does, it's great value. But I mean, yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to pull the trigger on a kid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So we saw them go up. Is there anybody that we saw drop? So Justin Fields, with the way that he played
I
tonight,
think he dropped. I think Justin Fields definitely dropped.
Okay.
Wade was.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Wade. My brother-in-law, he's a really big Ohio State fan, and when I mentioned Wade, he was like, oh, he's trash. But again, I don't watch him that enough to kind of know the ins and outs of him. So I'm going off his word. But when I watched him tonight, I was just like, fuck no.
Well, here's my thing about Wade.
If I'm not taking him really low in the draft, no, I'm not touching him.
Wasn't he
with Wade? You said what, Michael?
He got ejected, or he was the one that got the targeting call last year against Clemson, right? Was that him?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not 100% sure.
I have a valid excuse for this one, honestly. I didn't watch this game really at all because at the same time earlier that day, you got their ass whipped by LSU, and I was really drunk and pissed, so I didn't even want to watch college football after that. So
yeah, no, I obviously it was a while.
I don't remember.
I mean, look, dude, I forgot LSU was the winners. And give me,
yeah, no. So let me tell you a story about this. All right, a quick little story. So I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the OU and LSU game last year, and I didn't think we were going to win, but I thought it'd be like a somewhat like close game. I go to Buffalo Wild Wings. There's a bunch of LSU fans every fucking where. So So we get our ass whooped, as anyone knows who watches this. And later on that night, Ohio State and Clemson plays. I watched the fucking first quarter. I'm like so drunk at this point. I'm like, I don't want to watch football. I just want to get drunk and fucking be sad. So I just fucking stopped watching after the first half, bro. So I don't remember about Wade, and I don't remember. I really can't tell you. So yeah.
Breakup song here.
Last year with Okudah, Arnett, and Wade, I think he was really disguised and he was really hidden, not having to be the primary guy. And I think this year it really exposed him. So again, Wade, if he's not somebody you're taking 4th, 5th round and on, don't even worry about it.
Here's 2 things wrong with Wade with me right now. So number 1, Ohio State fans, as much as they can say they weren't, they were hyping him up going to this year. They were hyping him up.
They were.
He was going to be like the best corner in the nation. Number 2, before this game was played, they asked him, who did he want to guard? He said, you know who I want to guard. Talking about Smith.
Yeah.
And guess what? Yeah. Smith had fucking 200-yard receiving on your ass with 3 touchdowns. So,
guarding him.
Yeah. So therefore, I don't want to hear anything from Wade about anything going in the draft. I want him to shut up and be quiet and go to the combine and prove to the scouts what he's capable of. So no.
Yeah, but see, I don't think he's going to prove anything to the scouts. I mean, honestly, I guarantee you, he's going to run a slow 40 time. Is just not going to get better for him. I don't think it matters.
Just scratch him off.
Just scratch him off your list.
Don't even give him a combine invite.
If you're not taking him low, don't even worry about it.
But don't even put him through the ringer. Just tell him, hey, by the way, enjoy undrafted.
So wait, y'all don't want to touch Broncos to draft him second round?
What?
You don't want your Broncos to draft him second round?
I was considering until you gave us your expertise and told us how crappy he is. So now I'm
out. but hey, there's a Raiders scout that's probably like, I think this guy can be pretty good. I love him.
I just want my Cowboys. I just want my Cowboys to draft Horn. Draft Horn, and I'll be okay. I'll be okay with our draft.
What'd you think of Surtain?
You talking about Patrick, the Bama guy?
The two.
Man, with Patrick going into the season, well, I actually watched his recruitment. And going into his recruitment, I always said this kid should easily be at Bama, be coached well, and be a first-round pick. And I love Patrick. But my thing is, I think Horn's better. I honestly do. And Horn, I don't even think Horn played this year for South Carolina. Did he? Honestly, I don't think he did. I think he opted out.
I'm not 100% sure.
I didn't watch any of his games. I'm not going to pretend that I caught anything. I didn't.
Mm-mm.
So, I don't know. If anyone in the comments knows, let us know. But
JC Horn?
JC? Yeah. JC Horn.
Okay.
From South Carolina.
I heard his name going on. I just didn't watch any of his films.
So, and here's the reason why I think about JC Horn. Because my thing is, I've seen JC Horn play in 2019 season for what low he did, if I remember right. For what I watched from South Carolina, I don't watch very many South Carolina football games. I'm sorry for any Gamecock fans out there. I don't. But I did watch his highlights. And just watching him, I am really impressed with how he plays. For him, so he always, when he turns, like, here's my thing about corners. Not only do you have to be fast and athletic, to me, it's all about your ball skill. You have to turn around and find the football because that's how you get turnovers. And turnovers, to me, are the biggest thing in football games. If you can get that big key turnover, that can change the whole momentum of the football game.
Yeah, for sure.
So, to me, ball skill and ball hawking, to me, is amazing for a corner. And Horn, I love the way he turns around for the football. Does he always get the interception? No. But he's always looking for the football. And to me, that's a major thing, looking for the football. And with Patrick, he does the same thing. It's just, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen. I mean, I don't watch this year alone. It was a weird college football season, so I didn't really watch much Alabama games as I should have. Just because at the beginning of the season, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a big believer in Alabama. Even though they were beating everybody's ass, I'm like, oh, when they get to Ohio State or Clemson, it's over with. I was totally fucking wrong. I'm gonna say right now, this Natty game was a perfect example. I apologize to any Bama fan. You can crucify me all you want, but. After this, I'm definitely watching more Patrick highlights. Back in 2019, I was a big fan of Patrick. This year, I didn't watch him much, so I really can't speak on him as this season as far, but I still go with Horn. So I think y'all have the pick above us. I think y'all like number 9, right? The Denver?
Number 9. Yeah.
I'm hoping y'all take Patrick and we take Horn. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. After watching this game, I don't think his stock dropped any. I don't think it elevated him to like the number 2 or number 3 pick.
No.
I didn't see them target him much, which if they did, that would have probably been a big mistake on their part going after him. So I mean, he had some good plays or whatever, but you honestly didn't see much from him. Because again, I don't think they really targeted him or went to his side much. In which, I mean, Ohio State's offense really didn't do much anything. So I mean, he kind of just got away with the pretty good night.
So I hope y'all pull a Raiders in this draft like Wade in the 9th pick. I would fucking cry laughing.
I'd love that.
And I would blow your phone out.
Why don't we just trade up for Fields?
Well, apparently there's some other Bronco analysts and stuff like that wants us to do that. We're not going to say the names. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
You're fucking nerds. Like The word analyst entails that you understand what the hell it is you're talking about because you've actually played a game in your life. Like you weren't the kids who were forced to sit on the wall in PE because you guys forgot your clothes on purpose. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't want to sit here and listen to you talk about professional.
Blockbuster.
You know what else is crazy? So Philly is actually right now going after Lincoln Riley right now. I was reading that earlier. My brother texted me today about that. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, that was wild, huh? I couldn't believe they let Peterson go. That was weird.
Yeah, so I saw that.
That was interesting.
And so so a quick little convo about this. If y'all are down for this. So me personally, I want to know y'all's opinion on this. Me personally, I don't understand. I don't think it's gonna happen at all. I think because last year he got offered from Dallas. Right. Dallas wanted him bad. Right. And my thing is, if you don't take a job from Dallas, and I don't care what coach you are, Dallas has money, and if you're a coach, that's a dream job in the NFL. I don't care who you are. You usually, if you're going to go to the NFL, that's a job you want to try to take.
Unless you don't want to deal with Jerry Jones, in which case,
exactly,
absolutely understand why he did that. So,
and I'm a Cowboys fan. I hope Jerry. I'm not going to say it. Never, I'm not going to say it. But anyways, no,
you said John Elway. We agree too. So for what it's take your shots at the Broncos. We didn't have a great season either.
So with Lincoln, my thing is, and if you're an OU fan, you know what I'm talking about right now. This 2021 season is what Lincoln wanted with his team. He has so many players coming back. And also, if you look at it early, and we probably should try to do this ourselves on this show if y'all are down any day of the week. Every top 4 early rankings I see for 2021 has OU at number 1 or number 2. It's because there's so many players returning and the recruiting class coming in is so good. My thing is, if you're Lincoln Riley, why do you leave that for Philly, a team in the East, an NFC East that's not worth a damn, that is totally when they last? When they behind us, the Dallas Cowboys? When they behind us? When they last?
You would take the job.
The Eagles were better than the Cowboys.
Yeah, like you would take that job for what they could be. Lincoln Riley with Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Rager. You take it for what they could be.
No, they were last.
They were. I thought they were last.
Could they be something? Yes. That's probably why he would take it, but I just don't think he would.
I just don't think he would because the reason why, even if you just follow college football and you follow Lincoln Riley's story up to OU, Bob Stoops was our head coach for a long time. He won us a natty back in 2000 against Florida State. I somewhat remember. I was still a little ass fucking kid. I somewhat remember I was crying because I was so happy. But again, I was a little kid. But I remember seeing that, and this Bob Stoops, what he built at OU. And my thing with Bob Stoops is you're not going to hand the keys. Because honestly, I thought it was still somewhat early for Bob Stoops to retire. I still was shocked that he retired when he retired back in, was that 2016? That was after the Sugar Bowl against Auburn. He retired. And when he retired, I was shocked. I was like, why are you retiring? No. And it wasn't because I didn't believe in Lincoln Riley. I thought it was too early to get the keys to Lincoln. And my thing is, if I'm Lincoln, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I kind of owe OU and Bob some years because, honestly, I don't think Bob Stoops retired when he did. I still think Bob still had some years in him. I think either way it went, if you gave the keys to Lincoln or not, OU would been where they're at right now anyways. This is the staff they gained.
It shows your loyalty, too, like the team loyalty, the coaching. Because if the guy was even through all – and I say ineptitude loosely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking shots at the team. I'm just talking about for a while there was a lot of years where Oklahoma was really down in the dumps. But they still stayed loyal to that guy until he retired. So – Lincoln Riley's making a lot of money. He's definitely making 7 figures a year.
Well, my thing is with OU is that if it comes down to, I know you're talking about Bob Stoops down years. I remember we played in the Sun Bowl against Stanford, and I was like fucking heartbroken because I didn't want to play that bowl game. But I had to watch it, and I was happy we won it still. But still, at the end of the day, I didn't want to play it. But with Lincoln Riley, my thing is with OU is that even with OU, you have to pay him. If it comes down to a bidding war with the Eagles, you have to pay him Kirby Smart and Nick Saban money if you want him to stay. I'm sorry, because at the end of the day, Lincoln's earned it. Lincoln has earned it for what he has done for a certain amount of time at OU. He's made the playoffs every single year besides this last year his head coaching career at OU. And he also made the playoffs as an assistant coach his first year against Clemson.
Yeah, well, it's not like you guys were far removed from the playoffs either this year. So, I mean, what was it like? You guys were number 6 or 7?
Yeah. Which
so,
I still don't think we should have got in, but yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing to see that either, dude.
And I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, and there is some bias towards me saying, "Don't go to the Eagles, stay here." But if you want my honest college football and my honest football opinion and all, like as a football fan, this is what you wanted. You wanted a natty. You got the team in 2021 to prove it. And analysts are telling you right now, when they're ranking you above Clemson, Ohio State, some are ranking you above Alabama, and that's crazy because they just won a natty. So when you have analysts ranking you above, you have so much talent going in, why would you leave that for a Philly team that was the last in a horrible division in the East, behind the Cowboys, behind Washington, behind Giants, and it's going to take you another 3 to 5 years to build that franchise up. That's to be a wild card team, honestly. Right. Why would you leave that? I'm all for Lincoln going to NFL. I think eventually he's going to NFL either way. It don't matter. But my thing is, why not, when you have a team like you have in 2021 and above going into that season, why not stick it out when you're a natty, experience that, then start thinking about the NFL and start thinking about maybe testing the waters for, I don't know, a Giants, a Jets, or whatever you want to go. That's my opinion on it.
Well, he's going to have to start, if he's going to make the jump to the NFL, good coaches don't get fired. Winning seasons, their head coach remains unless one of them just like, hey, I'm done. I'm just retiring, which that's like few and far between. So even if he did make the jump to the NFL, he would have to go to a team that's kind of down in the dumps.
Yeah.
To some extent. Again, with the Philly, if he was to take that job, it is the potential on what they could be. You got some pieces that you could build around that could kind of get you off the ground and get you going, right? But again, do I see it happening? Probably not. I think he has. I think he probably has it made where he's at. I mean, that's that. Hey, Saban, he went there, he tried it. Hey, didn't like it. Now he's back where he's at. I mean, he probably makes as much money as the NFL coaches do now.
And I'm not turning this into like an OU podcast at all, but my thing is, you got the keys to a Ferrari program in college football at a very young age. You're 33, 34 years old, and you got the keys to a Ferrari program.
And so far, he hasn't wrecked it either, for what it's worth.
Yeah, you haven't wrecked it. You've actually
like a pro.
Yeah, exactly. So my thing is, because all the guys above you have been winning, have been over your age. Kirby,
right?
Dabo's been at Clemson since 2008.
Well, I mean, it's a byproduct of the Saban franchise.
Yeah. Kirby Smart was. Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach of all time. So, I mean, for Lincoln doing what he does, I mean, come on, give him some credit. But at the end of the day, I just think it wouldn't be a smart move by him to leave so early in his career. Not just as an OU fan, just as a football fan. You have the team that you want. You built what you want. You actually now have a defense at OU with your defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch. This defense is top 20. It was 15th ranked in the nation when it used to be ranked 100 and something in the nation when he first started. Now you have what you want at OU. Why leave for Philly? And my thing is, I just don't agree with the move. I don't see why you make that move and make that jump yet. Am I saying he doesn't make it in the next 5 years? If he feels like it's necessary, if he don't win next year, I understand. Because next year you had a team you wanted, you didn't win it. So maybe you need to test the NFL waters. But I say, and also we'll know by the next couple of months because you'll start seeing decommitments if he's going to Philly. You'll start seeing recruits decommit.
I highly doubt it. But
what? You're talking about him leaving?
If he wanted an upgrade, he would have just taken the Texas job and gone to be the Longhorns.
Or gone to the Dallas Cowboys coach. I think he should easily be a Cowboys coach if he wanted it.
Figured somebody would have given me a fuck you.
Right? I still can't believe Steve took the job at Texas. Oh, my God. Or I can't believe Texas offered the job to Steve from Bama.
I can't believe he took that one. I mean, I don't think that the Longhorns job is very desirable in the first place. So, I mean, they're pretty non-committal. Like, they don't really give much of a turn. I mean, how long was that guy in there?
Tom Herman?
Yeah, because Herman came from UH, right?
Yeah, he came from Houston.
He came from UH, and then he was only there for like 3 seasons.
Actually,
yeah, but they set him up to fail though.
Right. Right off the bat, fuck them.
Yeah, so if you look at what he did when he was at U of H in Houston and the type of offense, and the type of offense that he ran, when he went to Texas, he was married to Ellinger.
Sam
Ellinger.
Mm-hmm.
He was married to him. He can't run that offense that they ran in Houston. He can't fucking run that offense, and he knew it. But I'm pretty sure the boosters was not going to let him dump him for someone else that could run.
That was the Derek King offense. It's exactly.
Well, here's the first thing, and a lot of people know this. In 2016, Bob Stoops' last year at OU, guess who was one of their losses to besides Ohio State? Houston. Houston beat us with Baker Mayfield, with Starling Shepard.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it happened because I remember I was pissed. I almost swung on my TV because I was like, that year was a year we thought, we're going to playoffs again, whatever, fuck them, we're going to playoffs. No, we lost to Houston. We lost to Houston, Ohio State. Because I remember that year Ohio State beat the shit out of us at Norman, the game after Houston. It was bad. So, I always thought I thought Tom Herman would be a good fit for your Texas. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I'm lie to y'all. Charlie Strong. Yeah.
Herman's a good fit anywhere he goes as long as they actually hand him the keys. But exactly like you said.
I think he deserved another year. I think Tom Herman deserved another year at Texas. I think they should have given him another year. Because, you got to look. It's a COVID year. He didn't – honestly, he was still mixed with – I don't know if y'all know who the head coach was before him, but Charlie Strong was the coach before him. And he still had a lot of Charlie Strong players there. He didn't really have his full class there yet. So
in 3 years, how can you? And honestly, hey, I'm just gonna throw a wild take since everybody like to pull wild takes out their ass. Tom Herman, assistant offensive coordinator, Denver Broncos.
I'm in.
That would be a good hire, honestly. I would like it.
Any other offensive
assistant?
Dude, just get some young blood in there, dude, who's willing to throw the football for the love of Christ.
Yes.
Like, Jesus, this is
That's why I would like
4 years in a row. Hand the football off. 5-yard pass, punt. Like, dude, give me a fucking break.
The Browns did it good, though. The Browns did it pretty good.
Dude, yes. Hey, kudos to the Browns, baby. I'm calling it right now. Bills, Browns, AFC Championship.
I love Josh Allen, too. I love what he's doing with the Buffalo.
Absolutely.
And Baker, I'm going for the Browns in the AFC because my Cowboys didn't make it. I'm going for the Browns and my boy Baker. Hey, I was so happy to see them beat the shit out of the Steelers.
They smoked him, dude.
28. It wasn't like 28-0 in the first half or something like that.
First quarter,
bro. That was I loved it, bro. I fucking loved it. Hunt, Chubb, Jarvis went off.
Yeah,
Baker had a good game. Dude, Myles Garrett was putting pressure on Ben all day. Ben had 3 interceptions in the first fucking goal.
Dude, I just love how good that team – it seems like – well, I guess the Giants are kind of nah. But, like, Cleveland, every time Beckham gets injured or something like that, all of a sudden the team starts doing better.
Crazy. And that's a sign.
He has to be a cancer, man.
And here's a funny fact. You know the last time the Browns won a playoff game was 1995. The next day, the Ohio State Bama beat Ohio State in a bowl game. Look at now. Yesterday, the Browns won against the Steelers, and now today, Bama beat Ohio State. And that's
you know what happened the week after that for the Browns, right? With Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So, but let's hope that doesn't be an ensuing trend. We'd like to see them buck out.
Shit.
So, but I guess the good thing is the Browns beat the Patriots and Bill Parcells in that game. So maybe this is kind of like their moderation with beating the Steelers. Since that's
if they get past Kansas, there's a good chance the Browns go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know, dude. Buffalo's a tall order right now. And who knows? Yeah. Maybe Baltimore can come from left field. But that guy is such a wishy-washy quarterback, man. Jackson. One game he'll look like a superstar, and the next game he looks like a super dud. So, it's really hard to pinpoint how that team's going to show up and play.
And it's so crazy because my thing is there's a lot of OU players in that Ravens team. You got Orlando Brown, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown. You got Mark Andrews, the tight end that's been having a hell of a season there. Like I already said Orlando Brown, the offensive tackle. He was a pro baller there. There's one more there. Was it Ben Powers? It might be Ben Powers that's there too. That Ravens team is full of OU talent. And every time I watch Lamar Jackson, he'll overthrow Hollywood Brown, or he'll mess up a throw to Mark Andrews. I'm not gonna lie, Mark Andrews saves Lamar Jackson's ass a lot of times.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. He's just having a rough year, man. But I mean, it was the same last year too. It's like he's putting up all these Super Bowl or these superpower numbers, but it's like, but his passing wasn't really that good. I mean, it was adequate.
Even at Louisville, it wasn't good.
Yeah, but it's like he runs a football well, and kudos for that. But I mean, what was that valued at in the playoffs? You're out of here. Fuck out of here.
Anything.
So, yes,
even though he did beat a pretty good Titan. It wasn't the Titans he beat.
Yeah, but I mean,
Titans team.
The Titans have been really hit and miss this year too. They haven't had really ending wins.
I came first place in my division, the fantasy league. I came first place, so I gotta give a shout out to AJ Brown real quick. Holy shit!
What are you talking about in our league?
Yeah, I think I came I came first place, or in my division, or whatever it was.
Oh well, I'm real impressed.
Yeah, right.
They gave me this little pop up for being in absolutely dead last place. That was a gem.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They gave me a gold trophy and said first. I was like, what the fuck? How did I come in first?
I got beat by my wife twice.
Wait, really?
Yeah, brutal.
Well, we know who the man of the household is now.
Yeah. I sleep on my stomach now, so
Oh, I've been doing that. Trust me, man. It's not the best feeling in the world. I can tell you that right now.
I just need to drill a hole out to the middle of the bed.
Hey, I don't blame you, man. Shit. It's a tough feeling, I know. It sucks.
Sweet.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a wrap to the Uncommon Man podcast national championship recap of the night. Again, like, share, subscribe. If you got any takes or anything that you saw from the national championship game, drop a comment, like, share, subscribe. Gentlemen, y'all got any last words?
No, congrats to Alabama, though.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, for sure. Go Bama.
Next Saban's a goat.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
All right, guys. We'll have a great one. We'll see you on the next side.